Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit is up here back again with code Geass. We are on episode 23. That means we've only got this episode, next episode, and the episode after that, and then we're done with code Geass. That's nuts. So the fact that there is like literally only a few episodes left, meaning that there's some major shit about to go down, and I don't even want to waste time talking about it. So real quick, I'll just go through what happened in the last couple of episodes. So Lelouch went into the Thor elevator, trapped him and Charles inside of it, so Charles was fucked. Marianne got into it, so there was reuniting of Charles, Marianne, and Lelouch. The whole plan was revealed. Marianne was completely behind what Charles was doing. Charles was wanting to basically destroy the idea of God, meaning that you know what I mean? I'm guessing that he could like change things, like get rid of lies altogether. People would all be together. You know, there would be they would understand. So there'll be no fucking conflict and shit like that. But yeah, there was a whole thing that maybe he was able to take time back so that the people who died in this current time period would come back to life. So basically, he didn't care what was happening in this life, even if it meant like abandoning these children in Japan. Lelouch hated that idea, he didn't like it, so he fucking used his Geass on God itself, basically destroying everything that Charles worked up for. Charles and Marianne like worked towards and stuff like that, and in the end it actually ended up destroying Charles and Marianne along with it, which is insane. So without the Emperor, Lelouch stepped in. He was now the Emperor. He appointed Suzaku as the Knight of Zero, his personal knight, which is fucking amazing. I love it. And now they're on opposite sides. Like, Lelouch is actually part of Britannian Empire. Schneisel is, like, with the Black Knights, I'm guessing. Which is a strange fucking twist of fate. And Nunnally was revealed to be alive. I knew I was holding out hope for something. I knew that couldn't have been the end. And I don't know how, because I feel like she was caught up in it. So I hope there's a bit of an explanation at least. But she is literally just called Suzaku and Lelouch her sworn enemies. So fuck knows what's just about to happen. But I think that's all we're really going to talk about. We're just going to get into episode 23. So without further ado, let's go.
An accident? But I heard the flayers they built are all missing now.
Stop spreading wild rumors!
No, I'm afraid it's all true.
What?
What?
Please
Sayako.
take me to Lelouch. It's urgent.
Is Sayako still sworn to Lelouch then? Oh man.
It's you. You're alive.
Yes, thanks to our brother Schneisel. Attacked the capital Pendragon with a Flaya warhead.
If you know about that, then why?
Do you think that using Geass on people is better? Both you and Big Brother have been lying to me from the very beginning, haven't you? You've kept the truth from me all this time. Lelouch, you were Zero all along, weren't you? Tell me, were you doing it for my sake? Because if you were, that means...
For your sake. I see my little sister as presumptuous as ever. It's so easy to criticize others while you keep your own hands unsullied. You are the quintessence of the privileged aristocrat.
Still
that I've
acting.
rejected. If you choose to stand in my way by allying yourself with Schneisel, I won't hesitate to crush you without mercy and without regret.
Lelouch! Schneisel, are the people of Pendragon really all right? Are you sure they're safe?
You needn't worry. We gave warning for them to evacuate well in advance.
Is Schneisel lying?
We'll have no choice.
Will you let me have the Flaya firing switch to hold on to? The very least. I want this sin to be on my shoulders.
Schneisel, you knew, but you kept the truth from me all this time, just so you could play this card at the right moment!
Lelouch, our strategic objective's unchanged. It's my job to rid him of his enemies and his own weakness. And you, C2, you must be his shield.
Things as you like.
I like Suzaku
Lelouch is
now.
your accomplice, isn't he?
The Flaya they used on Pendragon had 10 times the effective range of the one used on the Tokyo settlement.
What? 10 times?
You mean the people of Pendragon were
I made them vanish.
I
Wouldn't
thought
you
he
say?
was lying.
own people, and you told Nunnally.
Lies are expedient.
It's Cornelia gonna...
Everyone, even your own sister.
Cornelia, what is it that people truly want?
Your theories don't justify butchering civilians.
Even civilians who have rejected war depend on the police. So why win hearts and minds or tout some shining ideology? Why not bring peace to the world with a system and power? Scheduled to ascend 300 kilometers above the surface. From there, we will hit every enemy nation with flares.
Jesus!
Bane? We only agreed to use them against Lelouch. This will destroy the world.
He's worse than fucking... He's worse than Charles!
That
I knew there was some... I knew there was something behind his fucking... He's hard, you fuck!
And a kaleidoscopic transformation.
Black Knights. They say if you plan to kill Lelouch, they're willing to join you immediately.
Thank you, Cannon. But in the end, if we have to sacrifice 1 or 2 billion lives to achieve a state of permanent peace...
You're wrong. Peace attained by force is not peace.
What?!
Schneisel outmaneuvered
Motherfucker!
another escape plane as a decoy. Now he's trying to use Miss
As a
Nonnelly
decoy.
to control Master Lelouch.
You are devoted to chivalry as well, aren't you?
Perhaps there's some truth to that.
I'm impressed. You didn't drop your mask in front of Nonnelly.
No matter what angle I use to attack the problem, the answer is always the same. The conclusion I came to then wasn't wrong. You understand why I'm doing this evil, don't you? Besides, under the rule of Damocles, people would become lifeless puppets.
Nonnelly is aboard Damocles. Everything you've done from the beginning was for her.
I can't treat her differently any longer. So many people have died since this began. For their sakes, we have to see it through to the end.
Yes, you are right.
Letting people die in vain and stuff, innit? Ugh. Oh my god, it's like truly endgame.
Are you sure you want to join with us? It means you'd be fighting against Britannia.
You know, right now,
I'm being played. I'm being fucking played. It's fucking typical, isn't it? The left
Pendragon
Lelouch.
was the capital of the Holy Britannian Empire.
To minimize damage, we cannot hesitate. The time to confront him is now.
This battle is the ultimate test. Control of the entire world is at stake. If we defeat Schneisel and the Black Knights, then there will be no one left to stand in our way. Destroy Schneisel and the Sky Fortress Damocles. Crush them all.
Lelouch has spread malice and turmoil all across the globe. As the enemy of peace, he must be wiped out. I pray that for all time, this shall be the last battle and the last war that mankind will ever need to fight.
Aren't the Black Knights being hypocrites?
I'll make both of you into records on my hard drive.
Are you sure Anya will be all...
Official greetings, Schneisel.
We have an arsenal of flayers ready to launch.
Flayas? I wonder if you dare to use them. Considering that I have all the UFN representatives aboard the Avalon with me.
He's hiding behind the hostages he took.
They're not related to you.
You're right, they're not. Their lives are a small price to pay.
Schneisel, you can't attack!
There you go.
I
We know how dire this is, but that doesn't mean we're going to throw their lives away on a gamble.
If you're going to tie our hands so we can't use the flayers, then I request that you put me in charge of all our united forces. I know him far better than anyone on this battlefield.
Understood. And shall we let the game play out, brother?
Indeed.
Stretch our left wing. Assume half-moon spirit formation.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Main wings are undermanned.
Have Gino's unit advance. Keep the enemy's left wing from extending.
Reverse the direction of our left wing.
That'll break up our formation.
Do it.
Gino, halt your advance now.
But why?
Not falling.
Chess match.
Switch our battle plan to Ursa Major formation. Bombardiers, prep for anti-air combat.
Anya, stop there, climb 200 meters and stabilize.
It's just a fucking stalemate, isn't it?
Nobody's fighting! Invisible battle is now raging between the two of them.
They're not gonna let it happen to Black Knights, right? If Schneidel's willing to just...
Any moment now.
Reinforce the front line with Suzaku's Lancelot. Hold at combat speed 4, and send out Ward's unit.
It's gonna be like the chess match, innit? It's gonna end up with two kings right next to each other, innit?
If we can defeat Lelouch, this will be over!
Punching through.
Come on, Jeremiah.
They're
Be the
cutting us
fucking
to
hero.
pieces. Push forward! Gurin, you're too far out.
That'll be a hell of a fucking fight.
The dreadnought is destroyed! They're breaking through!
So that's how it stands.
Think, ready to fire. Target both enemy wings. And fire!
It seems that Lelouch badly underestimated the fighting skills of the Black Knights.
Well, Lelouch?
Right. They've shown great skill forcing me to use this plan.
What's the plan?
Damn it! He timed this too!
What is it? Is that a fucking volcano? Did he just... He didn't just set off the fucking... What?
So I'm responsible for all of this.
Is she pregnant?
I don't want a new life caught up in it.
Okay, please respond!
I can't believe he set off...
Use the Sakura Dite in the Fuji mines.
Fuck!
This has drastically depleted the enemy's strength,
So-
which leaves Damocles
Wide open.
Nonali, targeting is complete. Now that the Black Knights have been smashed, we must use the
Just
Flayer's
not-
power.
You're not gonna do it.
With this act, I will wipe away my brother's sins.
Special Division 3!
Yes, Your Majesty!
It's useless.
Avalon, continue to fall back. All units charge at the Damocles.
Fuck. Lucius doesn't care.
Ogie! Ogie!
Ogie, please!
This is no time to play dead! You two shielded us?
We were only able to protect the bridge, though, eh?
Now that I've used the Fuji plan, and considering the number of remaining Flaya warheads, I'm at a disadvantage of one move. Meaning I have to depend on Nina now. Can she do it? I know she hates me, detests me for being Zero.
She
Now
does
rule.
know that he was Zero,
Yet,
okay.
to defeat Schneisel.
Do you really think you can defeat me, Lelouch?
Can
Because if you
Nina
do,
be
you're
the
at
fucking...
end of your path.
Is she gonna...
A man who has not mastered the use of the mask can never prevail.
Fuck. I like that line. Okay, episode 23. That was a great line. I love that. I love that Schneisel line because it literally, it's everything that I said I was worried about Schneisel for throughout the entire fucking show. What have I been saying with Schneisel? I've been saying like I keep expecting to see Schneisel be a dick underneath, like be capable of extreme measures, like you know what I mean. The face that he's wearing is a facade. It's a mask. It has been proven! Oh! Honestly, there's like... There is not many things that bring me joy more than like, you know, being right about somebody. Or, I mean, I probably wouldn't go as far as to say as I was right because I was led astray because he was wearing a mask for so long. But my initial thoughts about him were right. I knew that like I couldn't fucking I knew I couldn't trust him. I knew it. I knew there was a reason. How many times have I said throughout the series that Schneisel's like just that personality trait of someone who's so like who seemingly acts so nice, but you know on the inside that the fucking he's worse than Charles. If you had told me that Schneisel was worse than Charles, like, episode 20, I would have completely shut you down and be like, are you kidding? No way! You're an idiot. But he is. He's worse than Charles. Did Cornelia actually die? I fucking hope not. What a shit way for her to go out, like a fucking shot in the fucking back. I mean, now that I think of it, she's always getting fucking shot in the back, isn't she? Because she got shot in the back by fucking Dalton or whatever. When Lelouch should like ordered him to do it. Fucking god damn it, man. Oh fucking damn it. So Sayako's sworn to Lelouch. I like that. I like that. I think that's completely, like, within her character. I kind of felt as much when like, at the beginning of this season, when Lelouch basically took all of the, like, a million Japanese off the land or whatever, and he revealed his face to Sayako, and Sayako smiled. I just, yeah. So I like that. Lelouch still acting up, still wearing a mask for the sake of, you know, the betterment of the world. I wrote down his Schneisel line about Pendragon and Nunley, and he was. Because I thought so. I mean, Cornelia, obviously, you know, she gave that look. I was like, okay, great. 10 times the flare, because there was a limiter apparently, so 10 times the damage. That was fucking nuts. And Nunley's firing it off. God damn it, man, Nunley. I don't want her to be a Yuffie. If this happens, this it makes her worse than Yuffie, because Yuffie only massacred people because it was an accidental thing. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was an order that Lelouch gave when he started losing control. But this is entirely of Nunley is completely aware of what she's doing. I mean, she's completely aware, and I can't even say that she's being manipulated by... I mean, she is being manipulated by Schneisel, but the difference is, when he lied to her about Pendragon, about there being, you know, about people being aware that it was going to happen so they could evacuate, that doesn't go for, like, everything else that's happening. Like, you know, like, it's not like where the flares are going now and are being set off. Like, there's no, like, evacuation there. I really don't want to, but how can... I can't, fuck. If she... I don't want Nunley to be, like, you know... I don't. Because between her and Yuffie, those are, like, the characters that are, like, you know, innocent. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to cause harm to anybody. And I don't want Nunley to... I mean, I've got to think, like, what Nunley's done there is horrible. Like, I mean, think about it. Just set off how many flares? Or was it just one? I think it looked like it was just one that was set off, and it wasn't like all of them set off at the same time. Because, yeah, even Lelouch said, like, let them keep doing it until they're out of ammo. Until I have none left. She's doing exactly what Lelouch said he was going to do, like, at the, like, through episode 22. I think it was episode 22, right? Where he was talking to Suzaku and he was saying, you know, basically he was saying that, you know, the amount of lives lost due to the war that he's about to be a part of, you know, would end up being, like, his fault. And because it would be so big, people will forget about Yuffie, right? So basically he's trying to outdo the massacre that Yuffie was a part of, so that people won't remember her as, like, a bad fucking person, essentially, right? And that's exactly what Nunley's doing now, but trying to do it for Lelouch, like... But it's... I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. I don't want this to be the case. Like, I don't want... No. Like... in the episode, right before, because I figured because she's the one that personally asked to have it, right? I thought it was going to be a situation that Suzaku said, like, do you have the means not to fire it, right? And I was like, all right, that'll come back up then, because she has the wherewithal to not fire it. You know what I mean? I thought that was going to be the thing, like, that wasn't going to be fired because she's the one that has it. And it's fuck's sake, man. It's like, I still don't want to do it, but the only way that I can, like, the only way that I can accept it is if she's doing it purposefully for the idea that that it sort of saves it, so that it doesn't tarnish Lelouch's memory, or like doesn't like tarnish Lelouch's name, kind of thing, you know. And that's the reason why she's doing it. And that'll be the only way I can accept it. I mean, I still don't like it, because I don't want Nunnally to be a part of it at all. You know what I mean? Like, the way I kind of... the way I describe the flare, right, is it's a fucking... It's a nuke. It's like, it's a fucking... It's a coward's weapon. Anyone can just set off a fucking bomb. You know what I mean? And that's the last thing I want to fucking... Because, you know, Nunnally said, like, you know what I mean, I can't be a part of the fighting kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's not like much she can do, but she can't press a button and I know, I get she was doing it so that nobody else would have to bear the burden. But come on, like... Ah, man. Nina's gonna be the Nina's gonna be a key player after all this time in the series, and like she's been like the one, like the character that I'm like, fucking Nina. It's just gonna be that. It's just gonna be the like a critical player that turns the tide, and she. Fucking redemption of Nina. I mean, it is. It literally is. Everything. The reason why I didn't like Nina, right, is because she was so. Everything Yuffie, everything. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't... There wasn't anything else about her character. She just really fucking, you know, loved Yuffie. So after she died, she did nothing but fucking, you know, hate Zero for it and go into fucking fits of insanity. And the fact that she knows that Lelouch was Zero and yet is still working with him. That's a big character change for her. And I think it probably comes from making the flare, right? It has to have. Because after that flare went off and loads of, like, so many people died, I'm wondering if she has a sort of... Well, obviously she has a new, like... change of ideals and morals and stuff, that she was able to find it in her heart to like sort of forgive Lelouch for it. It's nuts. Honestly, out of everyone, that was the one character that I was like, I can't see development, like character development for, and she's got it. We'll see what the outcome of that is, because obviously, like, she hasn't been played yet. Lelouch has said that she's the one that he needs to count on, but we'll see what happens. I mean, just makes you feel like shit, doesn't it? Like when you after all this fucking time, been giving Nina shit, and now she's going to be like the one that turns it back on Lucia's favor. Great. Detard joining Schneisel, motherfucker. It's not out of the realm of his character either, because he just wants to fucking... He just wants to document everything, you know what I mean? And like the person who's the most interesting to follow makes sense. And the Black Knights joined them as well. It's typical, isn't it? It's typical. Because everything, the reason why the Black Knights turned on Lelouch in the first place is exactly what's happening now with Schneisel. Except we know that Schneisel's worse. So well done, Black Knights. Well fucking done. Well done. Well fucking done, that. I mean, on some level, you can't really blame them because Lelouch is purposefully acting different to what he means. Specifically because if he was to give up that mask, then he can't change the fucking world the way he wants. So he has to act like the fucking bad guy. So I guess on some level, you can't have a go at them, but still, it's fucking annoying, isn't it? All these people, and now Gino's on their side as well. Like, come on, fuck. Everyone getting done over. Fucking Nuddly being manipulated. Fucking Tamaki, Carlin, Ogi, Toro. All of them. I thought at some point there was something. I guess it's still in play, but the idea that Lelouch has all of the UFN members, right? And Schneisel specifically said, yeah, the lives of those people don't matter in the bigger picture, right? And Xingke specifically spoke up and said, and almost, you know, I feel like that's got to come up, because I thought there was like, right, well, that's perfect then, because now you've got the weak link in the chain, right? That one thing could spark a coup d'etat on Schneisel's side, in which case they would turn against him, right? But it never happened this episode. Whatever Schneisel said, Xingke was like, okay, fair enough. Because he knows Lelouch? I mean, come on, Xingke. I mean, the whole reason why you live is for the fucking Empress. At least act like you're fucking scared. You know what I mean? Don't just be like, okay, fair enough. It's typical. It's typical. Fucking hell, man. You know what I mean? All I want is for people to understand Lelouch, and they fucking can't, because he's bloody putting up a mask. My fucking boy Lelouch, man. Come on. It's so annoying. Everyone's being turned against him, you know what I mean? He's doing the fucking... So it was the decoy ship that was destroyed then. There was a decoy ship that was supposed to be Nunley's, and that was... So I guess the fucking... The pink mist, or whatever it was, that fucking enveloped the screen when the flare went off, I'm guessing that was because she was on the outside, and it was just the reflection of it, like... It was just the light beaming in. And it wasn't that she was in it, because otherwise I'd call fucking bullshit. You can't just do that, like, and act like, you know, like, that's fine to do. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't the case. It's like, that's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, that kind of shit shouldn't be in, like, you know, in storytelling. If they are making a specific scene, trying to, you know, acting like this is what really happened, when in reality they're just trying to, they're basically just trying to trick you into thinking that, oh yeah, Nunnally died because she was in the explosion. Where, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know why, like, the pink mist and all that shit enveloped if she wasn't in it anyway, you know what I mean? Because that is literally only there to try and trick the audience. So, you know, it could be done in a smarter way. I guess, like I said before, it could be the idea that she was just on the outside of it, and it was just the... because of the explosion, like the light, sort of, you know. It would be just the reflection of the explosion, like, but, you know, I guess that's what it could have been. Yeah, I wrote down Black Knights now being hypocrites, because, again, right, I don't know how much the Black Knights know, really. You've got to think they know about the flare and stuff, right? So, everything that... Every reason, right? What was every reason why they turned on Lelouch, right? Because he was using them, alright? Well, that's what Schneisel's doing. Granted, that's not something that you can, you know... I mean, that's the whole point of manipulation. It's not something that you can kind of figure out unless it's, unless someone provides proof that that's happening. So okay, right. But we know that that's the case, right? So they're being manipulated. That was one of the reasons why they turned on Lelouch. Another reason, like, ends justifying the means and shit like that. Shit that wasn't, made public and kept from. So the fact that Lelouch massacred the Order, right? What's this? With the flare and fucking destroying most of the fucking world with it. You know what I mean? Like, is that not worse? Okay, right, great. I just think it all fucking depends on how much they really know. That's it. Because if they know about all this flare shit, and I think that should be enough. Really. If they know about the flares and stuff like that, then I'm sorry, but Black Knights are being total fucking hypocrites. Like, you can't leave Lelouch on the basis that apparently he used you, and that he's fine fucking killing innocent people, and then be fine with backing somebody who does worse than that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I mean, again, like I said, it all depends on how much they really know, because if they don't know a lot, which wouldn't be surprising, because, with the fact that Schneisel is manipulating them, it wouldn't surprise me if he's, like, left out that, like, a lot of that. You know what I mean? I mean, it makes sense as well, because, like, Schneisel was the one that the Black Knights were talking to when they eventually decided to, go against Lelouch. So, if he's, witnessing the reasons why they turned against Lelouch, obviously he's not going to go out and say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to destroy the whole world. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it probably makes sense. But they are being hypocrites, they just don't know it. No, they're not being hypocrites if that's the case. But, so Anya's joined Schneisel as well, because he promised that he would return our memories. On the basis of what? Like, you know what I mean? That is another lie. Schneisel in the past fucking, like, the past episode has been the worst. He's been the worst. Lying to everyone. Manipulating everyone. Valletta's pregnant, I'm guessing. And that's the reason why he made sure that she stayed on the island. C2's got like a pink Lancelot. It looks like a Lancelot. I mean, I'm guessing it's not called a Lancelot, but it. I didn't realize as well. You know how this like whole time it's been like there's a real, Knights of the Round shit like that. It's all about King Arthur and shit like that. The cat's called Arthur. So he's probably going to be the difference maker if he is the king. He's going to take up a sword, although Excalibur is destroyed. But he is King Arthur, so and the volcano as well. That was great. Using the Securite explosion in Mount Fuji to create a volcanic, essentially a volcanic eruption. It wasn't obviously an actual one, but it might as well have been. That was great. Oh man. That's another thing why I believe that probably the Black Knights don't know that about like all the flares and stuff. Or like Schneisel's true plans, because they were so like disgusted by the fact that that was Lelouch's plan to like do all of that damage. It's like, well, why would they be disgusted with that if Schneisel plans to fucking set off like 50 flares? Well, maybe not 50 flares, but like 10 flares. You know what I mean? So yeah. But that is all for this episode. So yeah, fucking a great, another good episode. I fucking love this. I love this anime, man. It's so good, honestly. I just really fucking love it. But yeah, that's all for this episode. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One was the Discord. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that's where polls and things start. Also, if you just want to go over and talk to me in the community, I'm free to do that as well. And Patreon. So I do have a Patreon, so if you do want to support me, that would be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with, if you do. So there's the early access tier for $5 a month. So for that, you gain access to all the shows I do a week early. And as for Code Geass and Psychopath, you actually get 4 episodes a week. Now, of course, by the time this comes out on YouTube, Code Geass will have finished. And another show will take its place. I believe it's going to be Fate Zero. So if you're interested in Fate Zero and you want, you know, a lot of reaction content for that show, then make sure you get over and join the early access. $10 a month, that's the full length. So if you want my full unedited reactions to all the shows I do, then make sure you get that there. Everything I react to gets a full length. So yeah, $15 a month, that is the exclusive tier. So for that, you gain access to a bonus show that I'm currently reacting to, which is Mob Psycho 100. Also, all OVA reactions, all movie reactions go to the exclusive tier as well. $50, that is the elite tier. So for that, you gain, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go at the back of the list. I think there's about 7 or 8 shows in there, so it might take me a while to get around to it, but I will get around to it eventually. Unless you want to jump the queue and go at the very front, in which case you want to get God tier, which is $100, and that means that your show will be put to the very front, and then it'll be reacted to next. But that is all, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.